Mother's Day is right around the corner, and if you are an Etsy seller, you already know that this is one of the biggest sales moments of the year. But instead of selling the same old gifts that we might have done every other year, I want to talk about thinking outside of the box with trending products that have real demand right now on Etsy. And the best part is I've already done all of the research for you using EverBee, so you know these ideas are not just guesses. They're backed by actual Etsy search data, so let's dive right in. To begin, when I typed Mother's Day into the Etsy search bar, it suggested narrowing it down to home decor, outdoor and gardening, furniture, and lighting, which I thought was kind of weird. So I decided to go down the home decor rabbit hole and found something that stood out. A real pressed flowers personalized bouquet hanger. Don't get me wrong now, birth month gifts are not new. Etsy is packed with them. We've seen them for the past 2 years or so. But what makes this particular one unique is that it's real pressed flowers, arranged into a birth month bouquet and personalized for your entire family. Now, there aren't many sellers offering something like this, so if you love crafting, you can actually grab a pressed flowers birth month kit on Amazon for like $16 to $17 that I found and start making these yourself. Something that I think a lot of people are sleeping on also that really helped me with my research was if you scroll down on any Etsy listing, Etsy literally gives you related items like what I found, glass with birth flower and birth flower art, aka more ways to find low competition listings. And it also highlights even more keywords and long tail key phrases that other people are already searching for directly related to your original search. You can start by going through each of these to find even more options, or simply copy and paste any of them into the keyword research tool within EverBee to get an even deeper dive going. And in doing so myself, this led me to another huge opportunity for you guys: clear glass mugs with birth flowers. These kind of glass mugs are already selling well in the wedding niche with personalized things like bridesmaid or maid of honor, so why not repurpose this for Mother's Day as well? Think Mother Established 2025 for new moms, World's Best Mom, or even Mother-in-Law for an even less saturated audience. I personally pulled up Mother-in-Law in EverBee's keyword research tool and found that over 1,700 people looked up this phrase in the month of March, with much less competition than mom, mother, or mommy. And there were also tons of other additional phrases like mother-in-law gifts, in-law mother gift, and gift mother-in-law, all with over 1,500 searches themselves. So instead of staying in the standard Mother's Day space, let's spend some time thinking outside of the box this year as to who considers themselves a mother. Think stepmoms, think grandmas, think even dog moms. I then decided to pull up a few additional listings in the birth flower mug space and used EverBee's new daily trends tool to see if this was more of an evergreen aesthetic or just something that people would be buying around Mother's Day or around Christmas. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the new trends feature in EverBee, I highly recommend checking it out. All you have to do is go into an individual listing, click on product analytics to open up the listing details, and then scroll down right above where you would normally see the tags located. The EverBee team has worked really hard over the past 3 to 4 months to make this as expansive as possible, so not only are you seeing the past 30 days anymore, now you have access to 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and even 2 years, which will really help you understand exactly what that listing is doing and if that niche, that design aesthetic, that target audience, or that product might be something that has fluctuations throughout the year, or if it's truly something that sells evergreen. And while I was looking up the birth month glass mug, I was pleased to find that almost every listing that I pulled up in the daily trends had daily sales, and one even grew by 200% over the past 3 months. And I personally see this climbing even further as we get closer and closer to May. And here's the best part. I also found that one of our favorite print-on-demand providers just added these glass mugs to their catalog. So whether you're a POD seller or you hand make your own glass etching items, this is a ready-to-go trending product. Another item that I found that was doing really well on Etsy already and has been really popping up everywhere, like in places like Target and Urban Outfitters, are sling bags. Basically, if you're a millennial like me, it's just a crossbody, but they're calling it sling bags now. In the last 30 days, over 1,100 people searched for sling bag on Etsy, but the majority of current listings that I've found under that space seem to actually be expensive leather handmade versions. And while yes, we do have some leather product sellers in our community, I also wanted to make sure this was a little more attainable for our POD sellers as well. So I actually found on that same print-on-demand provider's catalog that they just added sling bags recently as well. And with 2 new design aesthetics aesthetics on the rise, Coastal Cowgirl and Chinoiserie. Please come for me in the comments if I'm saying that wrong. You guys know what I'm talking about though, right? It's like Toile, T-O-I-L-E, and Chinoiserie. They are classic French-inspired prints. Think detailed, vintage-style sketches, usually in blue or red on white backgrounds. Right now, Toile? Has over 1,020 people searching for it on Etsy this month, with another 1,090 searches for Chinoiserie. Oh God, I shouldn't be allowed to do this. Which is another ornate, elegant pattern aesthetic that's super, super popular right now. So if you can take that as well as Coastal Cowgirl and apply it to a sling bag, you might be able to hit people during Mother's Day, but also people all year long. So if you're wondering, what is Coastal Cowgirl? It's basically a Western meets beachy vibes. Think faded denim, neutral tones, teals, turquoises, boots with white dresses, and a vintage kind of rodeo aesthetic. If you guys are familiar with the rhinestone cowgirl thing that happened around this time last year, that was your light pinks, your hot pinks, your blushes, your bows, your rhinestone hats, stuff like that. I believe Coastal Cowgirl is also going to do the exact same thing that rhinestone cowgirl did, but with the blue aesthetic. Here are some examples of patterns that I found in the Coastal Cowgirl space that could be applied to a sling bag very easily. And over 1,016 people looked up this phrase in the last month alone. Also, of course, if you want to stand out even further, think about who you're selling to. Maybe your target buyer loves pop art. They love vintage patterns. They love Monet style paintings, or even animated dogs. You can turn those into patterns easily with Procreate, Illustrator, or even Canva, and add them to your sling bag or any other product that is already selling well in your space. So next up is one that pleases my 90s kid soul: Matchbox art prints. These are gaining traction fast, but still have low competition. In the past month, Matchbox wall art was looked up around 676 times, and it only has like 6,000 competing listings, which isn't bad, but it gets better. Matchbox print wall art has only 3,439 competitors, while wall art Matchbox has only 4,615 competitors. This means that there's demand for this aesthetic, and it's not oversaturated yet, which makes it a prime opportunity to get into it before Mother's Day, but also before everyone starts learning about this secret niche. Shh. I also pulled up a few individual listings and used EverBee's new Trends tool to scope out the best performing months for the space, and I was actually pleased to see that over the past 5 months, this particular listing had around 800 sales, and yes, a lot of the sales took place in December, but a comparable amount took part in January, which is telling me that this is something that could sell all times of the year. And if this aesthetic is trending in art prints, that means there's room for it in weekender bags, phone cases, tumblers, and even t-shirts. And what I was even more excited about was to see Matchbox art was also trending on Amazon, but it only had 183 listings attached to it. So people are actively looking for this aesthetic right now in multiple different marketplaces, and it is your job to fill that need. Another trend that I found that I think is going to be perfect for all types of sellers for Mother's Day is fingerprint keepsake gifts. Over 968 people searched for fingerprint gifts this past month alone. And if you look at this screenshot from our keyword research tool, over 6,800 people are searching for fingerprints in some form on Etsy right now. So here are some other unique fingerprint gift ideas. You could go with keychains. This is great for parents to carry their kids' fingerprints around everywhere. And by the way, a lot of print-on-demand sellers sell these. You could do it as an engraving inside a wallet. This is also something that doesn't have to just be for moms, but could actually be the fingerprint from a husband or fingerprint from a wife for an anniversary gift. Also, wall art for my digital download sellers. A child's fingerprint can actually be used to create an art piece for mom. Think about like a cute little flower made out of their thumbprints. And of course, for our book-loving moms out there, bookmarks with the children's fingerprints. Offering this personalized touch to literally any item will sell like hotcakes this season, but also could be an evergreen approach, as people could purchase these again for weddings, baby showers, birthdays, Christmas gifts, and more. So if you're selling on Etsy for Mother's Day this year, year. Please don't just go for the usual gifts. Think outside the box like we did today with these trending ideas. And if you guys want to spy on trending products and also see the daily trends, the monthly trends, the quarterly trends like I did, make sure to check out EverBee, my go-to tool for researching product demand and finding low comp ideas. If any of these sounds like something that you are interested in, I would love for you to drop it in the comments below. Which of the 4 to 5 different spaces that we talked about are you interested in getting into for Mother's Day this year? Drop which one makes the most sense to you, and I will provide some personalized feedback and additional research for each of you. If you guys did find this video helpful, don't forget to boop that like button and subscribe for more Etsy and e-commerce tips. And if you're looking for even further spaces to potentially get into over the spring season, I better see you in this video next.